Hello there, everybody. This is Alex from Hardcoin Guides, bringing my guide for God of War 3 on Chaos difficulty. Today we are doing part 10 entitled Poseidon's Chamber. And this is going to be the booby part, I guess you could call it. So there's not like a huge amount of things that happens in this particular part, to be honest. It's kind of like a mix of like slight puzzle, but you know, mixed in with action. And then I think, not the next part after this, but I believe part 12 is going to be the Hera puzzle. But for us right now, what we have to do is just take these dogs, kick them into the right portal, as in like on the right side. I had simply forgotten that that was what I was supposed to do, so I ended up accidentally kicking them into the spikes to get them killed, because I thought you have to kill off this wave, and then we come back and do the whole thing with the portal. But even when I kicked it in the portal, my brain still didn't register until like after like a minute later. Well, not even that, like a few seconds later. I was like, wait a minute. We're supposed to do this now? Because I forgot that like to get to that bottom portal in front of us, we would need to kick the dogs into it. So this section right here, not too bad. They only spawn like, what, one, maybe two dogs at a time? It's not that big of a deal. And once you get close to like the end, or like the very edge of weight that you need, no more dogs spawn. So, perfect chance to get the red orbs. You will come back to this area, so if you do miss those chests, that's fine. You can just get them back. But, yeah, I'm going to keep the suspense going for now. There will be boobs, but we're not going to see them just yet. So stay tuned, fellow boob enjoyers. But yeah, over there you can grab Poseidon's conch. I think I just grabbed... Well, now I grabbed the Gorgon Eye, but I wasn't really paying attention. Did I grab a Minotaur Horn? I have no idea. I grabbed something. I feel like I grabbed an item box. I don't know. Again, I wasn't really paying attention. I was too busy waving my hands around while I talk, because that's just what I do. So, after coming out of there, you have to pretty much protect the Poseidon Princess. I think that's what she's called. And this is relatively easy enough. I used the Cestus just to kind of make things just a bit easier, because using the blades is fine and dandy. But the only real problem, though, is the chance of like missing these dogs and just being too much of them. As you can tell, I'm not using the circle prompt on the dogs themselves right now, because once she falls off, I feel like she's more important to grab. And on top of that, I just kind of want to get through these guys quick, so that way they don't have a chance of, you know, potentially attacking her. Although she doesn't really have health that I'm aware of, but she does have like the potential chance to, you know, to fall off and need to be grabbed and brought back up on the ledge and saved. So, something to keep in mind that you definitely don't want the dogs to do. Granted, most of the time the dogs are just going to be attacking you anyway. But, I would make a bad joke, but I probably shouldn't. Anyway, so next part, we have to deal with the statues. These guys you've already dealt with plenty of times at this point. Unless, you know, you're watching this video now, or you're skipping ahead to this part to see what happens. But yeah, typically statue guys are relatively simple and straightforward. They do the same basic attacks. Every single one of their attacks can be parried. And if you can't tell the parry timing, just use block to kind of gauge an idea of when the parry could be. Because as soon as, you know, Kratos moves back while he's blocking, that basically tells you like, yeah, you could parry there if you needed to. But other than that, you know, I use Cestus. I think I have like level 1 Cestus at this point, so it's still doing pretty good. We will level up to level 2, and I'm hoping that potentially by the end of the game have it like full leveled. But the blades is what I'm going to focus on more often than not. So yeah, I would suggest using, well, theoretically, whatever weapon you want to use, whatever you feel comfortable with, of course. But for me, the Cestus works great, even at level 1, and mainly because it does a decent bit of damage. Especially to these guys. And save up your rage, your Spartan rage as well, for when you personally feel like you need it. You don't have to follow exactly what I do, but if you want to wait to use it like I do here, that's fine. I think I use it maybe either in the next room or maybe even like the next part. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure I use it soon. It could be next part or possibly like the main area room. For these guys, don't use your magic on them. I have no magic anyway, but I would suggest not wasting your magic, your Cestus magic on them. Just there's plenty enough to where you could get a few good punches in and knock them away, to where they don't blockade everything perfectly like they normally could. Which, if they were blocking off the path, you know, really well, then that would be, of course, a problem that I would have to deal with later down the line. So, something I didn't do here was I didn't grab the magic chest. I was kind of thinking ahead, and I was like, well, I might take damage. I might lose health. But the thing is, with God of War, just in general, when it comes to most of the main games, besides like Neo games, is the fact that if you do happen to die a lot of times, you do get a lot of your health back. So grabbing a health chest isn't really always that important, as is grabbing a magic chest. I would suggest if you have no magic at all, or just, you know, you just need even a bit of magic, I would still suggest grabbing magic. Unless you're trying to do like a complete no damage run, then if you're doing that, then well, you don't really need the health chest, do you? Yeah, right here, I don't know why I thought about using the Spartan Rage. I think it was more of like an accidental, like, maybe I shouldn't use it. It's like one guy, you know. So, this is not a room I would specifically suggest or even recommend using Spartan Rage for. Again, if you use it, that's fine, because, to be fair, Spartan Rage, I don't want to make anybody angry, but I'm not a fan of Spartan Rage in this game at all. I much prefer the Rage of the Gods and the Rage of the Titans, and to an extent, even the Rage mode in like God of War 4 and 5, I prefer. After all that's said and done, you know, I do the wheel thing with her, and I get that back up to go back and get my magic filled, because I was supposed to, so I wanted to show that off to show you guys that, yes, I did refill my magic completely by going through this one, you know, gate room. Without having her be tied to it, because you can still do that. You can still let go right now, run through it, and just be fine. Once you hit that very tippity top, that's when you're going to have to put her there. And honestly, it does kind of suck and kind of beats that thing that I've always talked about with Kratos not being as ruthless to everybody, unless they get in his way. But in a circumstance like this, I mean, I don't know. I guess you could say it's like God of War 1 Kratos, where it's like, you know, the line of the gods, you know, demand a sacrifice from all of us. So it could be potentially him just doing that. But still, kind of a dick move, regardless of how you slice it. Still kind of a dick move, though. Because I keep trying to defend Kratos in the sense of, like, well, he's not like a complete ruthless bastard, but no, he's quite a bit of a dick. I mean, especially right there. There's really no need for that. But then again, the only way to gain access to this area would be through that. So here's Aphrodite's chamber, of course. You can, you know, have your fun with her. I wait till later. Just mainly because I didn't want to record it. I was like, I don't want to waste time. Not that I have anything against boobs or whatever. It's just that I just want to play the game. So I had my, you know, eyes set on playing it. And then in the next part, I believe I do actually do the sex minigame. And I skip all that because it's, you know, optional things you can do if you want to. And you guys can, you know, do all that stuff on your own. But for here, just, eh. I mean, granted, you do get a nice, you do get a nice bit of orbs from it. So it's not like it's not worth doing, I guess. But I don't know. If you happen to miss it like I do, that's fine, because I tried to do it there, but it doesn't work. If you do miss it like I do, that's fine. Come back later. Should be fine. Anyway, see you guys in the next part. And as always, take care, everybody.